Hello everyone and welcome to the Guild 2 Renaissance. My name is Adafos and this is going to be a tutorial on how to play the game. This is going to actually be part 1 of, I don't know really how many parts I'm going to do, but it may be about 3 or 4. And then later on I'm actually going to go into more detailed tutorials on how the classes work. But as of right now I want to do the parts just so people can understand the actual basic gameplay. So the first thing I actually want to talk about is the multiplayer. This is actually what makes the game really fun. The internet servers are not supported anymore, sadly, but you can play this game using Hamachi in the local network. Hamachi is a great program. I'll actually put the description in the link. It actually just allows you to connect to someone else's network. So let's go ahead and get into the game. As you can see up here on the top left, this is actually going to be the map selection that you can actually choose for the game. We are going to play on, let's see, let's just choose this one. And here in the bottom left hand corner you can actually see the background of the maps and the history of the maps. And here you can actually select which town you wish to start in. So let's start there. Let's start in a big city. So over here on the scenario side you can actually select how you want to play the game. You can do 1 year per round, which will allow you to keep your characters longer. However, I would like 4 years. The default is 4 years, so let's keep it unchecked for now. You can choose less ambience to get rid of the ambience noise, such as stray dogs barking or campaigning or things like that. But I like to enjoy those sounds. They just sound really good. No random events, which cause nobody to come up to read poetry, give you a cake, or just an UI basically interacting with you. And by NUI, I just call them that because they or NI, they basically are the non-competing dynasties that keep the economy balanced. Um, they just keep it balanced just so that it's not overflowing and your dynasty competitors are not making a lot of money and you're not making a lot of money. So they just basically just keep the market flowing and keep the game flowing. So here you can see our hometown that we selected by clicking up here. It'll just change. So we're going to keep it on this one. Game modes. There's 4 game modes you can play. You can play Dynasty mode, Extinction, Time Limit, or Mission. The mission mode will actually, you can select 4 different missions to play. You can get rich, climb the ladder, which is the political ladder, turn prosecutor, which means prosecuting people, or turn criminal. This will actually allow you to turn criminal is you try to commit as many crimes as possible without getting caught. But we're going to play Extinction. I like Extinction. Number of dynasties. Actually, you can change this up to, depending on the map, this one you can have up to 16 dynasties compete against. On multiplayer, this means you can have 16 people, 16 AI, or people and AI that equal up to 16, if that made any sense. But this is just the maximum number of AI or players you can have on the map. Difficulty, it starts your starting money. If it's on easy, it's very easy. It's 10,000 gold, and you can buy every building in the game. The first building. You can buy any first building in the game. Hard is 2,500. You can only buy some of the buildings, but after you buy the first building, you have to work your way up in order to get the title or anything like that. And I'll go into more details exactly what I mean by title at later parts. So we're going to keep it about medium. It's about 4k gold. Down here you can actually select coat of arms. This will actually be the color and the flag that you're recognized by. And once you marry somebody, they will take your arms and they will turn your color. So let's go ahead and start the game. This is going to be the character selection screen. You can actually set your first name, and I don't want to be Frederick. I want to be known as Adafos. Last name. This will be your family's last name. Anyone you marry or bring into your family or adopt, they will take on your last name. There are 4 classes, and these are important, so everybody pay attention. There are 4 classes in the Guild 2. There's Patron, which basically supplies all the raw materials in the game, as well as taverns where people can go and buy beer, wheat, stuff of that nature. And Patron's a really fun class if you like supporting like raw materials for businesses. Craftsmen don't really produce any raw materials, but they build things that are useful to people, like weapons, armor, buff items. and stuff like that. Every class can craft their own things, but the craftsman is focused on that, on production, not getting raw materials. Scholar, basically they are the people that deal with people. They can be hospitals. They can do churches. Collect donations. That's how they make their money off that. They can do alchemy, which does a lot of things, like it produces items that can make people sick or sabotage dynasties or even improve dynasty relationships. Um, and that's a really fun class if you just like dealing with the public, the people. Rogue is anti-public, and what I mean by that is they cause chaos. They purge, pillage, and rob from people and steal from people. This is a fun class if you like to just cause chaos. Um, and I'll come to the zodiac sign after I introduce the talents. Sex, basically, does what it does. You can be male or female. Religion, Catholic or Protestant. Basically, these religions cause different type of play styles. The Protestant has a few different things, but I'll get into more detail as that goes on. And Catholic, same thing. But I usually choose what I want to play. I just switch between the two. I play like 50% Catholic, 50% Protestant. But in the game, you can actually convert over to different religions once the church building is level 2. So you have the freedom to choose. You're not stuck with it once you choose. So let me introduce the talents section of this. That talent section is where you actually build your character. So just for description purposes, I'm going to be a Patreon. The Patreon actually needs to focus on 3 things. Constitution is very important. It expands your lifespan and your life points, and it also increases the number of inventory slots that you have. More inventory slots means you can collect more raw materials. Dexterity, not really good for a Patreon unless you want to move fast and dodge in battle and you're engaging in battle. This is a very great late game stat to have, though. But this is more used for rogues. Charisma, it's great for scholars. It's kind of good for patrons and craftsmen, but it's more for scholars, and it increases your favor bonus, and it's very great in politics. Martial arts is attacks. Handicrafts is production. This is good for any class that has any type of production businesses. Great for craftsmen, great for patrons. A little bit on the scholars, but they don't want to in early game just build on it. This is more of a Patreon and craftsman type of skill. Stealth, great for rogues. It conceals illegal actions. Riditic, if I pronounce that correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. It causes you to. It's great for courting, insults, threats. This is basically just things that you can interact with people with. Bribery, taunts, trials. Empathy is the counter to Riditic, and it's great for seeing through lies if someone is lying to you about trials and duels and false evidence, pretty much. Bargaining is a bonus for Patreons. This is your money maker skill. It's great for craftsmen, it's great for scholars, so the more bargaining you have, the more money you can make off your products. Arcane knowledge. This is used for lengthening the buff item you use, and it also decreases the cooldown. Not very important in my opinion, but late game it is kind of important. So let's go ahead and build this character. A base cookie cutter set that I make for a craftsman is or a patron, excuse me. I usually do 1 point in handicrafts, rest in bargaining, and I put 1 point in constitution. This leaves me with 50 XP that I can carry over into the game. The zodiac sign, Aries, basically at 1+ constitution, it gives you a free point in the stat that any stat that it does, like it increases. So it's just a 1 point buff. So we're actually going to do the one for bargaining, which is this one. So we're going to choose that one, Aquarius. Alright, so this is basically the character build screen, and you can actually do your appearances. You can change your features, your facial features. I'm not going to do very much because I like this look for my Patreon. The build changes his body size. You can go from really fat to being kind of skinny. There we go. Kind of skinny, but the clothes are making him look fat. The hairstyle changes the hairstyle of your character. But we're going to go back to the one with the hat. Hair color changes the hair color of his face. Blonde, dark blonde, brown, black, gray. But we're going to go back to brown here. Headgear changes the type of hat he wears. This and this, or the hairstyle, you got to have a certain hairstyle in order to wear a hat. That's just how the coding is. But you just have to mess around with it until you get to the hairgear section. I'll just show you, for instance, like on that right here, you can't select headgear. So you just go back to the hairstyle that allows you to wear a hat. Voice.
Providing for body and soul can be a heavy responsibility.
It just changes his voice. And yes, you are correct, Mr. Patreon. So we're going to use that voice. The beard changes his beard. You can also select the random button if you just don't care and you want to look like a silly clown or something. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start the game and get a view of the game. This is actually going to be the end of part 1 for this game. But that's basically just character creation, and if you have any questions on that, be sure to post in the comments. Also, please be subscribed. I do some Let's Plays and I do AMVs just for stuff for some people to enjoy. Anyways, so this is the world of Guild 2. It looks pretty. But you can actually go to different towns by selecting on the right side of your screen. This is actually going to be your character screen here, and I'll go into more detail because I'm actually having to wrap this up. I've gone a little bit over what I was wanting to. So anyways, this is the world of Guild 2. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.